The Opie and Anthony Show is back on Sirius XM.
Let's get Dominic in here. We've got a very busy day.
A lot of guesses. I guess this is.
Yes, we do. Welcome back to the show, Dominic.
Sir, take a seat right there.
Sorry we're a little late today.
Yo,
sure.
as they say in certain parts of America.
Yo.
That's a simple greeting.
What do we know about this Malaysia Airlines thing?
Same thing they knew on day one, I'm pretty much
They
guessing.
keep spotting mysterious stuff in the oceans, right? But,
Yeah.
I mean, isn't there always mysterious stuff in
I
the
assume
oceans?
stuff is floating around out there all the time.
There's a lot of garbage in our oceans.
A lot of gunk.
A lot of gunk, right?
Supposedly boats drop things.
You know, I never knew that. Like, it's like, oh, it could be a shipping container. It's like, how many shipping containers just fall off of boats?
Yeah, is that my car?
Yeah.
Floating around in the Pacific?
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
That would suck.
It really is amazing. But I don't know. Supposedly they found more debris. They're sending boats out to look at that debris.
They're pretty confident about this debris.
How do you know they're confident?
Because they said it's circular. I don't know what that means, though.
Yeah, I mean...
They said because it's circular, they're pretty confident that...
Spherical.
Right.
Right.
Cylinders. I mean,
Yes.
cylinder.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are you a conspiracy guy? Do you think it was or are you?
Yeah, although I resent the word conspiracy because it always gives you, it doesn't allow you to actually give it any power. As soon as you're like, oh, it's a conspiracy, it undermines what you
Okay.
think.
Because you think.
But yes, I do believe in some famous conspiracies. I don't-
Which ones?
Yeah. What's your
Well-
favorite? Oh, not favorite, but what's the one that you think is definitely the?
I have a really hard time trying to intellectualize the fact that no structures, no steel buildings have come down in the history of construction due to fire, and on 9/11, two of them came down in exactly the same way on the same day, and Building 7 is a bit of a mystery to me.
Those,
too,
I think,
so-
are some pretty extraordinary circumstances, too.
certainly extraordinary.
Fuel, heat,
You know,
weakening of metal, things like that.
I think the Kennedy assassination might have a couple of things going on that we don't know about.
That's always had, an air of conspiracy around it. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But it's that weird thing, conspiracy. As soon as if you're labeled a conspiracy theorist, there's something about your brain that is broken, that doesn't work. What if you're just thinking about the alternate idea of what it could be? I mean, that has relevance.
You're just asking questions.
I think for the most part, though, people that believe in certain conspiracies, it's always so far off of just the simple explanation
Right.
that it's like, well, why can't this simple explanation be what had happened instead of trying to come up with, 20 people knew, but no one ever spoke. I've never seen that. Talk about metal buildings. I've never seen two people that could keep their mouths shut about an event.
Unless there was a threesome tape with the Kennedys and Marilyn Monroe, which they're speculating, if whoever shot that is the fucking biggest closed-lip guy in history.
Yeah.
If there's a porn tape with Jack and RFK,
And that tape went away.
yeah,
They're
it
not
was,
selling it anymore or something.
yeah, so maybe it's not real.
Someone's debts
I don't
were
think
paid.
so. Why would they tape themselves or film themselves
Could have through a mirror. Somebody
doing
could have just done it.
shenanigans?
Just having a threesome with your brothers.
With your
That's
brother, I don't want to see my
I-
brother's sex face.
Hell no.
That's what I said last week. Exactly.
Interested in that.
Yeah.
What
Right.
if something awful happens? Like you're having a really great moment and suddenly you lock eyes with your brother.
You're never getting that out of your head.
Or if she takes one of your pricks and hits the other one in the face and says, "Come on, it would turn me on."
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
Jeez, Jimmy.
or that. That too.
I just don't want that to happen. Things to
With Marilyn Monroe, though, you kind of got like I wouldn't want to see a family. I don't have any brothers, but like I would never want to see like my sister. Like it's just gross to me. But like if it's someone like Marilyn Monroe, you got to kind of bite the bullet.
Do you think?
Well, I'd certainly
Yeah.
watch Marilyn Monroe with no clothes on, but I don't know. I'd feel a little conflicted if I had to watch Marilyn Monroe with no clothes on and my brother had no
Yeah.
clothes on sat next to me,
Yeah, that would kind of, I guess, kill it.
Yeah, just a bit.
A little bit.
Although he was big, JFK was weird because he like The Mimi Beardsley, that intern who wrote the book, JFK took her virginity, said that he had her go down on his best friend Dave Powers in the White House pool while he just kind of sat there and watched. Like he was just like that with his
It's a dirty
friends.
boy.
Rock and roll president.
Yeah, he tried to get her to blow Ted, and she wouldn't do it.
It's weird that they kill all the good ones, eh?
Yeah.
You know, they killed the Kennedys, they kill, you know, Martin
Luther
Luther
King,
King, they kill Lennon, they kill, you know, all these trailblazers, all these kind of, you know, people that can really affect some change
Yeah.
get killed, you know.
Hence the reason.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
mean, Lennon was super paranoid about being followed by the FBI and being, you know, having his phone tapped and stuff. And people just thought that he was paranoid and the drugs were not working for him anymore. But it was true. They had a massive FBI file on Lennon and they would try to throw him out of the country because he could rile up a large group of people. He could essentially cause a revolution, and they do not want that. You know?
Anytime a person can get that much power, people figure, we gotta get rid of this guy. Yeah,
It's a bit scary.
it is.
Did you ever hear that last Rolling Stone interview? There's audio of it too. That Lennon did. We played that, right? Where
We have.
He was just talking about getting older, and he's 40, and he's like, he kind of saying like he was wrong about certain things, and a lot of it was his own fault. Just being like he was just turning into like a regular
Oh, he started kind of
middle-aged guy. Yeah, he was just kind of
he was a
mellowing
guy.
out like people
Losing some
do.
of his anger, yeah.
Yeah, when they get to 40 and they've got like
that
great life.
angst goes away because you have a great life. You look around and realize, there's some people living like crap, and I'm doing pretty well.
He's a multimillionaire with a little baby, and he's baking bread in the Dakota, not the Dakota.
Yeah, the Dakota.
Yeah, that was the
Really,
place.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Lennon's probably my ultimate hero outside of, you know, people in my life that I actually know. I mean, if I'm struggling, you know, through anything in my life, I tend to read stuff about Lennon or listen to Lennon. And, you know, my favorite thing ultimately about Lennon is like he took his pain and turned it into art, which I think is a pretty admirable thing. And he always speaks from truth, even if it hurts him, even if it's painful to him, even if it puts his life in danger. He will answer a very frank question truthfully. And I admire that, you know. I think it's a great way to be. It's so easy to lie and be like, no, I don't feel that way. But he's like, I do feel that way. And if I'm, you know, I mean, ultimately he died for that stuff.
Yeah, well, Ringo was just as deep, I think.
Hey,
Maybe
Octopus's
not.
Garden, come on.
Yeah.
Was that Ringo?
That was Ringo.
Oh
yeah.
boy, was it ever?
I do like, he sang a song in the early Beatles period called Boys, which is kind
Yeah,
of good.
he redid that recently on that special they did.
Kinda rock and roll.
That's the one I was telling you guys about. It was a cool song. I never heard that one before.
Yeah, that one was kind of cool. I mean, he did some absolute stinkers. There's
Yeah.
a song on, there's a
Yellow
song on the
Submarine,
White-
let's go.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine's classy. There's a song on the White Album just before Why Don't We Do It in the Road. What was that song? It's a Ringo song. You were in a car crash and you cut your hair. Like, what line is that? What does that even mean? What is that?
Probably some weird Beatles drug reference. You know, like they
course.
did all this veiled drug shit.
What song are you talking about?
You were in a car crash and you lost your hair. I wonder where you are someday. Oh, don't
Pass Me By. Okay.
It's a terrible song.
Horrible.
It ruins the White Album. I mean, the White Album is such an epic album. It's a double album by the Beatles. So if you're going to pick a Beatles album, you may as well get double for your money.
Yeah.
It's a great study of a band just fracturing apart, but pretending to be a band.
You don't want to be the guy
Lennon's-
that ruins the White Album.
Right, Lennon's in his studio doing his thing. McCartney's in his studio doing his thing.
All those songs, and look, one Ringo song,
Yeah,
and
Don't
then they
Pass Me
gave,
By.
and then Good Night ends
Good
the
Night,
album.
which is quite nice. That's a Lennon song that they gave to Ringo. But I mean, you got.
What do you mean?
Well, Lennon wrote Good Night.
Why does why does it say star? Just for the vocal? Oh, for
I think
vocals,
they-
I see what they
yeah.
did. Okay, so he only sings two songs on the whole
it was,
thing.
it was written by Lennon.
Gotcha. Okay. Don't Pass Me By and Good Night are the only songs that
I mean,
Ringo.
Year Blues by Lennon on that album, amazing. Why Don't We Do It in the Road, which is
Love that song.
one of McCartney's rockiest moments. Helter Skelter, for Christ's sake. I mean, that is just epic. Happiness is a Warm Gun, amazing.
Yeah.
Do
Amazing.
you think that I wonder if that I don't know the song you mean about Ringo is that you were in an accident and you lost your hair, a Jane Mansfield reference?
Maybe.
Oh, Jesus.
Who knows what that's about?
I mean,
Could
back
be.
at that time, that was like what late '60s, and she had probably died not too long before
Lost
that.
a
Right?
little more than her hair.
Well, yeah, but that might have been too harsh to say. You lost your head, so maybe that was like a poetic way,
Right.
Yeah.
of saying it probably had nothing to do with anything.
Probably not.
No, I'm just throwing in a fucking.
Julia, which ends the A side. It's the last song on the A side. It's fucking a lament.
do
for
know
his
that
mom.
album.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's all about. I mean, his mum died when he was a kid. Got hit by by a police officer, a drunk police officer. And I mean, that song again. The thing about taking his pain and turning it into art. You know, sings a song about his mum, who he misses and who he loves, and he kind of almost has this like love affair with. And I just think there's something about Lennon and that truthfulness and the fact that he is willing to like die by that is amazing.
How old was he when she died?
He was 14. And he just rekindled a relationship with her. So she was like an absent mom. He went to live with his auntie for a while. And when he was 14, he started to rekindle this relationship with her. And just at the point where they started to become connected again,
Wow.
she got killed by an off-duty police officer who was drunk. She was on a bike and killed her. So he lost his mum twice almost. And his dad abandoned him and, you know, in and out of, you know, different types of drugs, and then suddenly became king of the world. And,
Right.
and everyone expected him to be normal. He's like, oh, I'm not normal. I've been through some shit.
Yeah. God damn, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Weren't the Beatles more the like because they said the Rolling Stones had the tough image and the Beatles kind of had this goody gumdrops image, but like weren't the Beatles kind of from a tougher area and the Stones were kind of more the middle class kids?
Yeah, Stones were London, Beatles were Liverpool. Liverpool arguably is a tougher part of England. It's north, it's rougher, it's harder to get by there, it's harder to rise up there, you know. There's a great line by Lennon in that Jan Wenner Rolling Stone interview that they recorded where he says, you know, if the Rolling Stones are revolutionaries and people think that they're revolutionaries, then the Beatles really were revolutionaries. Like, he's okay with saying the Stones did something, but like, you know, he says at one point, like, you know, they're not on the same class level.
Yeah, don't even try to compare the two.
He
right?
wrote, the Beatles wrote the first couple of songs for the Stones to get them up and going. They did covers of Beatles songs, and I think if they were all still around, I think you couldn't argue the fact that the Rolling Stones were this biggest band in the world type thing. Like, the Beatles changed music, and they did things that no one else has ever done before or since. The Beatles are the only band to ever release albums that don't include singles. So they would release, here's a single, here's a single, here's a single, here's an album. Whereas nowadays, obviously, people go, here's 3 singles, and if you want to buy the album, all those 3 singles are on the album. The Beatles were like, no, we're prolific musical artists, so we'll release singles for you, then we'll give you 14 new songs in a month, and then 14 new songs in another couple of months. Like, first backwards guitars, the Beatles, first backwards drums is the Beatles, first backwards vocals is the Beatles. The top 5 songs in the United States chart.
That's
so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It really is amazing, and the sheer number of songs that they were able to put out
the biggest
in a short period of time. Too.
Yeah, the biggest selling artist of the 2000s was Eminem. The second biggest artist of the 2000s was the Beatles. That shows you just how powerful they are. You know, incredible.
Did you? I found watching that amazing Scorsese George Harrison documentary. I hated Eric Clapton after. I was never a big Clapton fan, and maybe I'm wrong because Harrison didn't really seem to give a shit as much as I did.
He didn't seem to mind.
But I could not stand him after that. After what he
his missus.
Oh, I fucking hated him.
Yeah.
Anyone who bangs your missus is kind of a
Not a good guy.
Right. There's so many more girls out there. But, you know, like I've had friends who've had really cute girlfriends, but there's a respect level where you're like, okay, that's off limits. You know, it's the guy.
Man.
It's the guy code. He broke the guy code.
You got that goddamn Hobbit money too.
Many Hobbit money.
Oh man.
Your old friends must hate bringing their girlfriends around you, like the guys that you just knew from high school. Like, other actors might not care, but back in high school, guys must like, oh fuck.
This guy.
I was like the littlest kid in school, you know. I mean, I was not the athlete. I was the kind of class clown and all that kind of stuff. Did not get a huge amount of play in school from girls. I mean, they were all after the football stars.
Right.
So there was an interesting
Tough
irony.
time,
coming back to Manchester and being like, oh, you're the girl who didn't have any time for me, and now you want to come hang out.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it twice.
Exactly.
Good for
I'll
you.
show you.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to go back and fucking clean up old business, so to speak.
Clear the ledger.
Yeah. There's something still sexy about some of those high school girls that wouldn't sleep with you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's that thing that you could never get, and it's the first time you get super excited about a girl and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it is exciting times at school. someone touches your wiener in between in a recess, and you're like, oh, that's fun.
It's phenomenal. Then eventually, when it's a girl, it's even better. I was 18 the first time that I actually got started. It was from a girl.
Come on now, the first time someone touched your ding-a-ling?
Oh, I was 5.
18?
But no, the first time I had intercourse, I was 18.
Oh, okay.
I mean, actual sexual intercourse,
Yeah.
I was 18.
Nice.
And it was
Wow.
just frightening and not comfortable.
You get these delusions, though, as time goes by about the high school girls and girls you were attracted to in high school. And they really get put in perspective as you get older and look back. And you see them now and realize, like, oh, God, she's just another disaster on fucking drugs and, psychotropic.
I thought she was above all that.
Yeah,
in high
just
school.
Another lunatic just trying to hold everything together.
Just
You
an
gotta be
angel.
careful who you put on a pedestal, eh?
Yeah, no kidding.
I love that John Cusack movie, Grosse Pointe Blank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they asked him what was it like coming home and seeing your high school friends, and he said everyone just kind of swelled. That's the thing. Everyone's just dramatically swollen, all got like water retention, and you know the jock is still being a jock, but his knees don't work anymore.
It looks like, especially when you get to look on Facebook now and stuff, you see these people, and they just. And you hadn't seen them in so long, they look like their parents.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's this guy I went to school with. It's his father. It's like, no, that's him.
But they're thinking the same things about us.
Of course.
When they see
I'm
our
not,
pictures.
Not delusional.
You think?
No one escapes.
I don't know,
No one
I think-
escapes that shit.
I think I've matured with age. I think
Right.
Yeah.
Fine whiskey. I don't know.
And then,
Peaking right now, you know.
yeah. Well, some of the girls, women now, of course, have daughters that look exactly like they did in high school.
Yeah, that's where you should.
You don't want to be too creepy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Well, or not.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's kind of vengeance for that. You should have fucked me because now I got to take it out on her. I regret to report.
Got a
Regret
second,
to inform you.
got a second shot at it.
Yeah. This is a girl who I used to be in French class with, and I would look up her, like, I was a freshman, she was a senior, and I would look across the room at her, and she would always have, like, a dress on. I would stare at her legs, and there was times where I could think she was opening her legs just to tease me.
Damn.
And we were in assembly one time, and it was like we were all walking in and out of this big room, and I remember I reached between a couple people, and I touched her ass. I had to feel it. And she was like, who did that? Who did that?
Really? Yeah.
And she was not happy. And I saw her on Facebook recently, and I'm like, I would still, like, there's still something, like,
I would
she's
still
got
grab
kids
her
and
ass and
married.
anger her.
Exactly. I would still grab her ass in a crowd, then cowardly slink away and pick my nose and eat it. But I had a thing for her, and she's still kind of sexy, man. Like,
So she wasn't trying to show you a little something?
no, I don't know. Maybe she was, but just to tease the little.
You got to show us
Yeah.
the picture later.
Okay, yeah, I will.
I got to see.
She looks pretty good now for an older woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a thing for Carrie Fisher. I think Princess Leia was the first, moment in my life where I was like, ooh, girls, that's kind of exciting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Carrie Fisher's not quite the Princess Leia anymore. But
No,
I'd
she's
still
more like the one that
No.
took Han Solo.
Jesus.
But I think I'd still want to kiss her just so I could say I kissed Princess Leia, you know.
Probably could get that
Yeah,
done.
well, I think a lot of times we talk about things like that and then go, well, would you? And then you go, for the story.
For the story.
Like, I would have to
Story,
for the
exactly.
story.
Yeah.
But, no.
You got to talk about the new show before you get out of here.
Oh, my God, right, yes.
I'm hearing you're a busy man.
You're still out in the middle of the wilds.
Season 2, congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, season 2 of Wild Things on BBC America, 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Tuesday, and it's on OLN in Canada as well. We just kind of like extended our ambition, season 2. We were doing a lot of invertebrates and insects season 1 because that's kind of my jam in terms of animals. But this year we did, slightly more dynamic creatures, more dangerous creatures that shows bigger and badder and faster. And, I get messed up a few times.
Really?
Which the audience will love, I'm sure.
What kind of creatures this season?
We do, first episode's giant spitting cobra. We do my favorite snake in the world, which is the gaboon viper, highly venomous.
Why is it your favorite?
It's just so beautiful, and
Yeah.
it has the biggest venomous fangs of any snake in the world.
See, that's
Administers
just
more
creepy.
venom. It's beautiful.
Like,
It's cool.
that thing does not care what you have done in the past.
That is
You could be talking about an agent.
Yeah.
No, that thing will own you if
Right.
it wants to. But the fact that you can spend some time with it and it can decide not to own you is profound. It's a nice experience.
I don't know, man.
Have you touched one?
That's
Yeah, I handle one in the show. We go to Costa Rica to look for one of the rarest frogs in the world. We go to look for the world's largest beetle. We go to Thailand to look for the world's largest amphibian.
Wait, how big is the largest beetle? I need to know.
In what, inches?
Yeah, what, like size?
About 8 or 9 inches.
Yeah, it's
It's a big beetle.
Wow.
It's a monster.
You let it crawl on you?
Yeah, we let a bunch of stuff crawl on me in that episode. See an anaconda. I saw an anaconda in Brazil that I thought was probably 10-ish feet, and it ended up being about 14 feet, which meant that it could bite me on my calf, which was an interesting experience. Massive, big, wild snake, and I was trying to wrangle it, and I didn't realize just how much more it was bigger than I thought it was. And it wheeled around and bit me on my calf. Which will make a noise like this. Oh! Yeah.
What is the protocol, though, if the snake is choking you? There's got to be somebody there with a machete, just in case the host begins to get squeezed lifeless.
Well, we do have a medic who's also a herpetologist that travels with us, and between he and I, we could probably handle it. But I mean, if a 14-foot anaconda bit you and got its coils around you, it's probably a 4 or 5 man job to unhand it. You know, they have a bunch of teeth and they do not let go. So not venomous, luckily, but certainly dangerous.
Yeah, but they could, put a nice
they kill jaguars.
on you.
You know, they can kill jaguars.
Right.
They kill crocodiles, caiman. So I mean, they could make a real mess of you if they felt like
Crush you, yeah.
And did the beetle creep you out when it touched you? I would hate to have something like a big bug on me. Bugs suck. I really do. I'd rather have a panther crawling on me than a fucking fruit fly.
I'm okay with insects. I kind of like them. They're misunderstood. You know, they get a bad rap. But yeah, we do a bunch of stuff. You know, I go to New Zealand, go back to New Zealand with one of the guys from Lord of the Rings, Billy Boyd, and we go looking for the world's largest insect, which is a wetaponga. Go swim the barrier reef, go swim with sharks in the barrier reef.
What's a wetaponga?
Yeah, and how big is that?
A type of cave-dwelling cricket. So it's a very, very large cricket, and including its antenna, it can be 30 centimeters.
Isn't
How
that
big
the
is
name
that?
of the visual effects company that you were?
What is that?
1.5 feet, maybe?
Yeah, that's including its antenna. The body itself is about that big, but the antenna can go to about.
So there you're holding it in your hand. That's not, but that would just creep me out, even if it didn't bite.
They can bite, but you'll find the largest of their kind are usually very docile. The largest of any of its kind is usually pretty docile, and the wetaponga's just kind of chill. You know?
No.
I guess when you're that big, you can just kind of be relaxed and nice to everyone.
Come on.
Absolutely true.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a beast.
That is frightening. They just look like monsters, is what it is.
They are monsters in their world. They're certainly monsters, you know.
Oh, man.
And they can an animal like that can only get big in an isolated place like New Zealand because they would get picked off by other animals.
So you get there and you give us some information on these things,
We
and
do some wetaponga stuff. We go back to the Shire. You know, we meet some old friends. We hang out and have a lot of fun traveling around.
that's cool.
You know. The show has a ragtag element feel to it. We want it to feel like the audience are just along for the ride. There's not a huge amount of planning going on.
Right.
Even though obviously for us as a research team, we do quite a bit of planning to make it seem that way. But we want it to feel like, for the audience, like, hey, do you want to come and check this out for a little bit? It's not super strict, stringent.
Right. That sounds great, man.
It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, they're saying he's got to go.
All right.
Really?
A lot of press today.
You're a busy guy,
Well,
apparently.
that was fun. It's always nice to
That was
see
a
you.
quick-
Yes.
So let's
quick
start.
one.
Hold on, March 25th. Let's get the plug out. Season 2 premieres, which is tomorrow night on BBC America at 10 p.m. And if you want to, Dom's Wild Things on Twitter, in case you forget the plug because you're
Yeah,
driving
come follow
right
me on
now.
Twitter. Come send me pictures of you watching Wild Things, or send me pictures of insects or animals that you can't identify, and I'll see if I can help you out.
No, I've
or cute
noticed-
pictures of girls. I don't mind.
I've noticed it's mostly girls talking about how much they love you.
Oh, well, that's good. We like that. I mean, yeah.
That's a nice one.
nice.
It's all chicks. They're all like, oh my God, I love you. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy.
Enough with this guy.
I'll take it where I
That's
can
great,
get it.
right?
Yeah.
Cool,
It's good
man.
to see you guys.
Absolutely, Dominic.
Cheers.
Thank
Great.
you.
Continued
See you
luck, man.
Relax. The Opie and Anthony Show will be right back on Sirius XM.